So she walks towards the camera, and then he gave this image, and then she is walking towards the camera. This is what it means by like b-roll, that kind of shots that you could not have it or create it, but now Google is giving it to you. Hello, this is another podcast of what's new with advertising. Today we have Marco, the agency guy who sells to agencies and has an agency both, and I am the marketeer who is running agency just for education and some health and wellness brand. This is Aazar, and today we have some exciting things to talk about. This is a crazy week because the news of the week is basically ChatGPT has rolled up an iteration that has killed Canva and killed Photoshop, and now you can just give it an image and it will create a wrapper out of you. I'll just share like quickly my ChatGPT last chat, and I'll just share with you guys. So, like Radi, my brother, if you are listening to this, I'm happy that you did not go after this product that you actually made, and so now ChatGPT does it. Let me show you. I'll just show you a simple prompt that I created, and you can see here. So I have a client who's in hormone replacement therapy. I gave them this image, and I said, no crazy prompting. Okay, I just said replace this with this image, and then they're like, this is an image they got me. It's like 30 seconds I got it, and this is crazy. So you said it did not work for you.
So I think there's limits to what it can and can't do, right? So right now, if you're posting a simple product shot like this on a plain background with a couple of callouts on the creative and a headline, it can do quite well. If you are trying to be a little bit more advanced or creative with it, for example, have a human holding it in her hand or anything along those lines, it still really struggles, at least on my side. Last night, I was trying to get a glasses company, so an eyewear company, to get featured on a model, and it kept changing the actual glasses to a completely different product that we don't actually sell. And so it still really struggles to identify what it is that you are selling when it's something that's a little bit smaller and maybe harder to put onto a model. But for something like this, I think you'll have a little bit more success. I still think it's really, really cool. And it's clearly the future that one day, we're all going to be replaced and we can just prompt, and it's going to be prompt engineers that run the world. But I've found that it's still in its really early stages, especially for the more complex stuff. I'm going to run a test this week. I'm going to have ChatGPT create 15 ads for the kids product that we talked about in the last. And then I will put that up and run it against human created ones as well, and see how it does. I like this. We've done it in the past, right? Where we did AI creative strategist versus real human creative strategist, and the real human one. So I'm really curious to see how ChatGPT performs.
Image has not popped up yet, but like the headline is so on point here. Like, so one of my salesperson I talked to who is into menopause, who does the call with these a lot of women, and this is the number one thing they have told me, like women do not feel themselves again. And it came up with the headline itself. It says feel like yourself again. This is like, I have not given this content to it, and I still was able to do it. Now there's a human hand holding coming in, as you can see it. This is like
Hopefully.
this is like the biggest open loop. Like half you keep showing the blur image, and like the whole attention stays. But it seems like it's doing a good job.
You never lived in the US, right?
No, I have
Yeah,
been to
dial-up
US.
internet vibes. It was anytime you would connect the internet, it would trickle so slowly and load like this that anytime you had an image, it reminded me of this. This is not bad.
It's not bad. Like, come on, like
Not
you said,
bad.
I'm a human holding it. I think I can actually put this, and okay, our nails are too perfect, but still, this is
Yeah, no,
good,
it's not
right?
bad. This is good.
So the
I
next
think for
thing that
product shots like this, it's fine. Anything a little bit more complex, you'll struggle.
yeah, so the next thing that is working for me right now, we usually discuss in this part of what's working, what's new. So Rafael from our group, the Performers Mastermind community, if you're not there, you should definitely join. I'm not gonna show you the whole video, but I'm gonna show you what he did and a couple of things that he shared. He shared this like prompt, and in the he found Vertex, Google Studios Vertex. I tried it today as well. It's still not launched in the EU, and he said he's not able to access it anymore. But they launched this last week, 28 days ago, sorry. And he says you can just give it a reference image, and it will turn it into a video. And this is crazy. So I usually struggle with B-rolls a lot, and I struggle with B-roll a lot. And they said like you can just give it to. There was one image that was crazy. So look at this one. So she walks towards the camera, and then he gave this image, and then she is walking towards the camera. This is what it means by like b-roll, that kind of shots that you could not have it or create it, but now Google is giving it to you. So now he gives another one woman selfie, and it gives a lot of different images, videos out of it. I feel like Google Vertex is now really improving. He said you cannot currently use this. So now again another image, and it turned into like a video itself. I think this is a crazy new thing that's happening in the AI world that's actually going to help us with B-rolls a lot. He said there is a tool right now that he is using instead of this, because they took entire access. So now he's using this tool called fal.ai. So this is the one. And this they have open, you can get started with it, and they also give you the same kind of access for the videos to create B-rolls from the images. I think this is the new thing that's going on in the advertising world. So that's what's new. Obviously, this podcast is also about what have been working for us. So I have an image for you. I don't know if you have an image, but I have an image for you that we are trying right now. Again, in a woman menopause space, because that's where we do the most testing. And this simple image with the product and really big text is working for us. And I feel like, so in general we can only sell symptoms in this category. The reason why it worked really well for us was just because like there is a product, and then there is all the symptoms that you can think of, so you cannot ignore this if you're going through the symptoms. And I feel like this is why this ad worked out really well for us. Do you want to tear down why this worked out for us as well?
I think there are a couple things here that will work really well. The headline is something that you are not expecting when you're scrolling on social media: vaginal dryness, weight gain, hot flashes, mood swings, joint pain. You're starting with weight gain, you see a lot of. Hot flashes, you might see some of. Mood swings, you'll see a bunch of those ads, especially if you're in the UK or in the US. Joint pain, a lot of different people are trying to sell you joint pain. I think this ad worked really, really well, even though it's slightly smaller, is your first call out, the vaginal dryness. That's something that you don't often see, and it's something that, I'm not a woman, obviously, but I would suspect is not always going to be the first thing that gets talked about. So I think the fact that you are addressing that head on, scroll stopping and thought provoking. Second, with science and humans, I really like that part at the bottom, and the fact that you highlighted it in purple, pink, whatever it is, to make that pop as well. You have a lot of text, so you have to do extra work, right, to help guide the eye on where you want it to go. And so with the science and human and the fact that you highlighted that, I think brings this ad forward a little bit further. But the biggest thing for me here is the fact that you made the call outs. By that I mean the vaginal dryness, weight gain, hot flashes, etc. Different font sizes. I think that carries this creative so much, because it's not like perfectly symmetrical. It's not what you would see in your traditional ad. Everything would be lined up perfectly on the left. Everything would be the same font size. Everything would look like really beautiful. And then you take the bottle, which you have in the bottom right-hand corner for those listening but not watching. There's a tiny little bottle of the product itself. In a traditional ad, that would probably be bigger, and you would make the call out a little bit smaller on the left. Here, you've purposely made it tiny and then made the text massive. So it goes against your traditional static creative best practices, and I absolutely fucking love it. It looks really, really good. I'm definitely stealing this today.
So, by the way, I stole all your ads last time, and I'm giving it to the new brief. So,
Nice.
feel free to steal it. Just one thing that is, I think you might not figure it out because you're not running ad account on this. I running the ad for this brand. So, we did a lot of message testing, and I also found out from our sales team as well, who talked to a lot of women who are on top of the funnel. Vaginal dryness is like in menopause is a really big problem. Like, okay, you're not able to sleep, gaining weight, all these things, but like vaginal dryness was like something that is a burning problem they have, and that's why we kept it number one. And that's not a lot of people talk about during menopause, right? So that's what we went after as well. So this is working out for us. Unfortunately, I only have one format right now that I can share. Probably I will do a lot of testing this week, so we'll share some new content for you guys. So that's all from what's new, what's working for me. Marco, what about you?
I will have a lot of new creatives for you next week. They're all still under testing. I had to scale back last week with things not performing so well. But I wanted to talk about how you would, and pick your brain a little bit about how you would approach an ad account where CPMs last year during Q3 and Q4 were $40, and this year in Q1 are $150. There is no major red flag on Meta itself. It doesn't say any like page score is healthy. Creatives that were working then are still kind of working in terms of conversion rate. Conversion rate is still strong. We have improved shipping. No one's complaining about the product. The major hurdle that we're facing right now is that CPMs have tripled or quadrupled. How would you approach that as a media buyer entering a new ad account? What would you do?
You're putting me on the spot.
I'm putting you on the spot, baby.
Yeah. So if your ad account have really high CPMs, usually you should do the funnel analysis. If like everything else looks fine, I'm pretty sure you've gone through it.
Yep.
I usually look at the comments as well. What's going on that front? Have you seen the volume of your competitors going down as well? That is something that not most people look at. Look at the volume as well. If they are also suffering at the same time as well.
That's an
That
interesting point. Anecdotally, just looking at ads library, I would say there's a period where their ad account, I can see a lot of launch dates on the ad accounts, right? And then nothing January, Feb. They were testing, but those ads didn't last. They've turned all of those off. And then there's a couple from March that are still running. That's off of a couple, but I can't tell whether volume as a whole has gone down.
there are two other things which is external factor that I still would look at. Pixel training, like what kind of audience is actually converting right now, and at what rate, if the conversion rate is higher than previous one. That is one thing that I will look at as well, because pixel is sometimes an account as well. So just to give you a data, I ran same ad, same copy, everything else the same, and I changed only the account. CPMs are drastically different. So if you have this opportunity to run an ad from another account with the same pixel, same everything, try it out. Maybe just the account that is being flagged and they're not giving a good number.
So you said you use the same pixel. So we tried a second ad account, same pixel, same page, and CPMs came down a little bit, but nothing crazy.
And is the product
I'm
in
now
the
thinking
market trend?
going,
What about a trend in the market?
it's still hot. I'm now thinking of going full like 2010 dropshipper and buying an agency account and seeing if that makes a difference, like full conspiracy theory Marco, to see if that brings down CPMs. But product is still doing well. I see competitors. It's not a direct competitor to Space Goods, but I think we all know Space Goods, right? So I'm going to use them as an example. It's in the same sort of category. They seem to be doing quite well from what I can see on their ad library. Again, I don't work with Space Goods, right? So I'm just looking outside in here. But that sort of same industry is what I would say our client is in right now, and which is doing quite well. Like Mudwater is doing well, it looks like, etc. It did not get classified by Meta as a health brand, so we did not get dinged for anything on that regard. All our ads are super clean and PG. They don't have any swear words in them. PG. They don't have any swear words in them. They don't have any like ridiculous claims in them. We play it super safe. Yeah, I don't know. This one's a struggle.
Yeah, you have to probably share like kind of a little bit more details. Maybe I can look at the account and give you some ideas.
Cool.
I have a question for you. This is something that
Yes.
I'm taking. Whoever is editing this video has to hide the brand. I'm about to take this brand. It's a competitor of yours, kinda, with the brand you just talked about. So this brand, I'm not gonna name it. You can see it on the left side. It's a tea, basically. And I wanna just have your opinion on this. So this is the brand. They are spending roughly 10,000 in budget. It's very small, and I really like working with small brands sometimes, just like because I wanna have that case study that hey, I brought this X to Y. So they this is a triple whale data, and I can just do it like based on last 30 days, and I show you some data so you can understand how it all looks. So like the ROAS is 1.68. The question I'll show you. So they spend around, they have $15,000 in revenue. Their net profit 30,750 last 30 days. Adds around 10,000 budget, 1.68 ROAS. It's in the tea category. It's a really good product. It's as good as Mudwater, Space Goods, but there are two problems. First problem is the ROAS is down. The second problem is that the market is like above 40 plus. So if you would have to take an account, first of all, would you take this account under your hood and then say, okay, I'm gonna create a success story out of it? Or would you like say like, oh, I would not do it based on the ROAS and net profit number? One thing that is also a red flag on this account is that the repeat purchase is only 20% in a category where you are a flavor and taste based, where you want to keep drinking the same taste. You don't want to change it. Like I have the same coffee for last 12 months that we recently bought, and I don't change it. My subscription only stays the same. I also want to have a subscription. I don't want to think about buying it. So I just wanted to know from your POV, the cost of the average order value you can see is like around $25-$30. Any thoughts on this?
The The thing that scares me, that does not scare me here, is the ROAS. That's fine. That's workable. What doesn't scare me is the net margin. The things that scare me here is the low AOV. So one of the first things that I would do if I were to take over this ad account is to dive a little bit more into offer testing, whether it's through a couple of different landing pages, whether I can create a bundle, whether I can do a buy one, get one, whatever the math works out to be. I would just try and increase the AOV there. The second thing is that repeat customer rate. We have a similar thing where a similar client actually that went through this problem 2 years ago, where our repeat customer rate was so low because the taste, and we're talking sub 10%, right, on subs, and we had a huge churn rate, was so low because the taste of the product was not good enough. So we did a lot of work. When I say we, the client did a lot of work to improve the taste. And since then, we have a repeat customer rate of 35%, so much healthier. The fact that we have that 35% repeat customer rate in subs has helped significantly with the company's finances, right? Because we get that dedicated MRR every single month. So even if we have a month where the ROAS is slightly lower and we're maybe only at break even, the subs are carrying the business and it doesn't look as horrible. So if I were you, like the thing that would scare me is I would look at the roadmap and ask the founders or whoever you're working with to help you understand what is on the roadmap for product development. What changes are they going to make to try and get that repeat customer rate up and to get people into that sub? It might be a case that people are loving the taste and it's not a problem with the taste itself, it's just a habits thing. Then I would focus more on the landing page and what you're communicating within the landing page. You're going to say
Yeah.
something.
So basically, my personal POV on this is that the product is very old. It's like since 1997. They just recently became a D2C brand. I personally think that they are into the aspirational category rather than a regular category. And that's the why repeat purchase is down, because you want to drink it when you want to reward yourself rather than when you want to really
So when
drink
you
it.
say,
So like,
what do you mean with aspirational? Is it like a weight loss tea? Is it a,
it's a standard tea. It's a tea that helps. It has a great taste. It's an instant tea category. So it's
okay,
like mud water and
yeah.
space goods. It's an instant tea category. And what I personally feel that is missing is that the people just drink when they don't drink every day. So you drink every day, then you buy more and then you like more. So I like that it has not become a habit. And probably the people who are buying a 40 plus, so they want to have a taste of India. So like that's what they're going after. But I feel like there's no product development. For sure I know there's no product development because they don't know if the product is like, founders are literally like, they've built a product, they love the product, they are essence of the product, but they have not tried to like scale it like a marketeer. And that's where we come in. So like we think about, okay, what do we need to fix first? I think just fixing the creative in the first go and improving the ROAS in last 30 days to like $2 two ROAS or 2.5. I think it's possible. If this business can make into 3 ROAS and 30% repeat purchase, I think we have something in place that can scale.
Yeah. So that changes my stance a little bit there, more with context. Product roadmap will matter significantly less, and it's just a matter of how you frame the creatives and how you frame things on the landing page that'll matter here. If they've clearly got a good product, then you need to, like Daphne makes a really good point in the comments here, it's you have to bring across the benefits of drinking it more daily, regular. That really, really helps. I think if you frame the creatives or the landing page with that in mind, it could really help.
I think landing page is not good enough comparatively compared to space good and mud water pages. And I think they're not focusing on health benefit that much because everybody's looking for caffeine alternative. Nobody wants to get more jitters. And they're not into that category, hey, drink because you don't have to get more jitters. I think Rise, mud water, and they all do really well is because it's health category that's trending up. So I feel like that would be another really low hanging fruit that we can take. Yeah. Why people aren't retaining, I think that I have to dig into it further. I try to ask founder, they don't understand it. It's like similar case like rich case founders like have done something good, but like now they like, can somebody come and help me with a marketing brand? So I'll keep you posted what's going on without talking about the brand name, but that's an update for you. Oh yeah, there's more data. Web analytics conversion at 1.15.
Your conversion rate
um
is trash. Yeah.
add to cart is 2.06. I think these two numbers we can really improve. Store data, true AOV is $37. So it's not terrible, but I think if like the space good, I was just looking, just if you just want to buy coffee, it's like $39 the coffee. And I think one thing that we can easily do is like add a bundle offer, starter kit. Everybody has a starter kit. So if you
Yep.
don't have a starter kit, then it's like no point of that. That's something that I can also think about it. And Yeah, I think the audience is really, you can see the click-through rate, 4.39. That usually tells you 40 plus women who are watching it. This means you need longer page, more content, more video on the landing page. That is so like something that we can also work on.
What
Yeah, that's
market are you
all.
targeting? US, UK?
US only.
US only. Yeah, those are pretty healthy then.
Mud water tastes horrible. I'd switch to the same benefit, but it hit. Yeah, so I also tried Space Goods, and I think they have a good marketing and shitty product, and somehow it still works. This is my unfiltered opinion about these products.
If we have a few minutes, I want to talk about fashion brands.
Ah, yeah. Should I share the screen and show that fashion brand thing?
Yes, please. I don't know why your Riverside doesn't let me share anything, but we have recently been making a big push into working with more fashion brands, which kind of goes against what you see most, which what's working there goes against most of what you see on Ecom Twitter. Ecom Twitter is all about features, benefits. You need to write these killer briefs. You need to, highlight all of the pain points, really drive the problem agitate. You have to basically, if you're fat because of these reasons. You're a lazy piece of shit. Here's what you need to fix your life. All right, that's kind of the ads angle, and I'm being a little bit ridiculous here on purpose, but you get the point. Versus fashion. We tried taking that approach and applying it to fashion brands. Obviously, it shit the bed. It doesn't work, right? Fashion is a little bit more about how someone
Taste.
feels, taste, exactly. How someone feels when they're looking at your products. Can I envision myself wearing what you're showing me? Is there an element of newness to what you're presenting? So I picked an example here from Here's, right? This is sort of like an ad that I think everyone has tried to run on their ad account. Fake Google search with Here's product below, right? It's a well done ad. I'm pretty sure it works for them. It's been running for, 3 months now. Not bad at all. They have a little interesting spin on it where they start with the ad and then cut to a little bit more of a, I don't know, what would you call it? Carousel, PDP, slideshow of images. So they did a good job with it. It's objectively a good ad. And for a different kind of client, I would 100% run this and steal it. But let's look at the ads that are fashion focused, if you don't mind. You'll see I picked one here from Girlfriend Collective. Completely different, right? It's a vibe. It makes you feel something. The thing that they're doing well here is, go back to the first one if you don't mind. Again, this one is such a strong, striking pose. But here, what does well here is they're taking people from different, it's size inclusive, right? So you have small, medium, large, XL. So any group of individual can relate to this ad and to this product. It's really well done in that regard. And then if you swipe through, it's like a mood board, a lookbook, if you will. Like you feel like empowered to be wearing this product while you're at the beach or working out or whatever it might be. Here it shows you a little bit more lifestyle as well in one of the creatives. And it's a really, a ridge where to run this. I think they would completely shit the bed. But if we're targeting for fashion ads, and if you can pull up the next one as well, you have to remember the feature benefits are significantly less. Like this is an Aritzia ad, right? And they're selling their super puff jacket, which is, I don't know if you guys have it in the UK, but here in the US, it's
I've seen it. I've seen it.
yeah, it went
Recently
viral a couple of years ago, and people are still shopping it like crazy. But again, it's a super simple selfie in the mirror. I think this might even be in a store. I can't tell right now. But again, a little bit more of a selfie. But what makes a good fashion ad is the pose that the model is striking. So here you can see it's not a tradition. You could see someone sitting down like that, but her facial expression is striking. The way that she positioned her body is striking. The way that her legs are positioned is striking. And it's a lot less about this jacket will keep me warm in 15 degrees weather, but much more about, look how fucking awesome you look wearing this thing. And I think I'm starting to see more and more fashion brands make that mistake, especially as we do more and more audits within the fashion space, of trying to lean too heavily into the feature benefit side and not enough into the mood board,
personality,
lookbook,
lifestyle side.
personality, lifestyle side. Yes, exactly. And there are a couple brands where what I just said is incorrect. There's brands like Twillery that are men targeting and super feature benefit focused, and they've been that way since the beginning, right? So their products are built with feature benefits in mind, and in that case, it makes sense to highlight them, but you still have to strike the balance between feature benefit and the lookbook. I'm starting to see more and more people go down the wrong path, especially as we're auditing these ad accounts, and I wanted to highlight, like, if you are in fashion, is going to be the determinator of how successful your ads are is what the model is looking at, or her pose or his pose or their pose in the creative itself. as well as the way that the vibe of the whole ad. So the Girlfriend Collective one was darker, moodier, a little bit more like Freebird vibes, versus this one is a little bit more city vibes, like a normal girl in the city. And as long as your ad is cohesive around that idea or thesis, you can do quite well in fashion. So we've had some luck recently taking a couple of different fashion clients to ROAS up, and you can, like, with super simple ads, have really, really good success. You just have to remember who's buying and why they're buying your product.
Got it. I think this is something new for me. I always used to sell like so. I think I'm a very bad person to run ads for perfume brands, and I never got it. I still don't get it why people buy perfume. It's more of a lifestyle thing. But now, since you talked about it, it kind of makes sense to lean into more lifestyle and personality and how cool I look rather than like, oh, look at this feature, it will help you with why, right? So like that is
Yeah.
like, so
And
I
like perfume is a hard one to sell on the internet generally because scent matters so much to people, right? It's an individual taste and you can't smell something.
smell
That's why
something,
if
yeah.
you are a scent company, you'll often see sample packs, starter packs, or whatever it is so that you can get 4 or 5, test them, and then, you get sold into the big subscription, whatever it might be. It all comes back down to what do you want to make the person feel when they're looking at your ad?
Got it. Okay, that's all from this week. Next week, Marco and I are doing bunch of tests, so we'll share something what's working and what's new. I hope ChatGPT can already make video ads by next week, so we have something fun to talk about. Bye bye.
Bye.